In the heart of Paris, beneath the shimmering lights of the Eiffel Tower, Mia stood alone, watching the Seine River flow gently by. It was her first trip to the city of love, and though the beauty of Paris surrounded her, she couldn't shake the feeling of loneliness. She had come hoping to find herself after a painful breakup, but instead she felt more lost than ever. As she wandered along the riverbank, Mia absent-mindedly pulled out her sketchbook. Art had always been her escape, and in the solitude of Paris, it became her comfort. She began sketching the Eiffel Tower, capturing the way the lights danced against the night sky. Just as she finished shading the final touches, a gust of wind blew, and her sketchbook slipped from her hands, tumbling into the street. Panic flashed across her face as she darted after it, but before she could reach it, someone else had already picked it up. "Is this yours?" a warm voice asked. Mia looked up to see a man holding her sketchbook, his smile kind and his eyes curious. He had an air of quiet confidence, with tousled brown hair and a camera slung casually over his shoulder. "Yes, thank you," Mia replied, breathless from chasing after her lost artwork. The man handed it back to her, his gaze lingering on the drawing she had been working on. "That's beautiful," he said. "You've captured Paris perfectly." Mia blushed, feeling a mix of embarrassment and flattery. "Thanks," she murmured. "It's just a hobby." "More than just a hobby, I'd say," he replied with a smile. "I'm Daniel, by the way." "Mia," she introduced herself, surprised by how easy it was to talk to him. From that moment something shifted. They began walking together along the river, talking about art, travel, and life. Mia learned that Daniel was a photographer, traveling through Europe in search of inspiration. He spoke passionately about capturing the raw beauty of the world, and Mia found herself drawn to his energy, his way of seeing the world through a different lens. They spent the rest of the evening wandering through Paris, from the charming cafés of Montmartre to the quiet streets bathed in moonlight. Daniel snapped photos of the city, and soon Mia found herself in front of his lens, laughing as she twirled beneath the glowing street lamps. There was something magical about Paris that night, something that made the city come alive in a way Mia hadn't felt before. And it wasn't just the city, it was Daniel. His presence made her feel seen in a way she hadn't felt in a long time, as if he understood her without her needing to say a word. As the night drew to a close, they found themselves standing by the Seine once more, the Eiffel Tower sparkling behind them. Daniel turned to Mia, his expression soft but serious. "I feel like I've known you much longer than just a few hours," he said quietly. "There's something about you, about this moment. It feels like fate." Mia's heart fluttered. She felt it too, a pull between them that was undeniable. "I know," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the gentle lapping of the river. Without thinking, they moved closer, their hands brushing before Daniel gently cupped her face. The world seemed to pause as he leaned in, their lips meeting in a soft, tender kiss. In that moment, all the noise and chaos of life faded away, leaving only the warmth between them, the magic of the night, and the quiet hum of Paris. When they finally pulled apart, Mia smiled, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. "I didn't expect this," she said, her voice filled with wonder. "Neither did I," Daniel replied, his eyes twinkling. "But I'm glad it happened." As they stood together beneath the Parisian sky, Mia realized something. She hadn't come to Paris to find love, but somehow, love had found her in the most unexpected way. And as she looked into Daniel's eyes, she knew that this was just the beginning of something beautiful, a new chapter written in the city of love.